Yeah, Mailbag to Footy and friends. This episode is thanks to our good mates at Carlton Dry, the official beer of the AFL. And Brett,
Yes.
I'll tell you this.
Tell me.
I had a few of these over the weekend. I'm
did
not
I.
going to lie.
They're good, aren't they?
They are
The 3.5s.
a little bit of nectar. A little bit of nectar. It's absolutely
You sound
fantastic.
hoarse.
Yeah, I had a big gather round.
Yeah.
Gather around my throat and dance on it because it's bloody sore at the moment.
Is it? Yeah.
Doesn't even make
A couple
sense.
of menthols.
Fuck, I hate myself already. Hey, boys, Mick, you well?
Very well.
Yeah,
Always
good to
well.
see you. Hey, you were actually a lot to get through today.
Yeah.
A lot to get, so
I'm
much
good
to get
too,
through,
thanks.
and I'm
Tired, but good.
good on you. There's a lot to get through, and it'd be remiss of us not to mention we've got one of the absolute. I'm going to say
One of our
friend.
favourites.
I'm going to say friend of the show,
Friend of the
even
show.
though
We've never
officially he will be a friend of the show after we're finished
Yeah.
today. Joshy Treacy.
Yeah.
How you going, fellas?
Yeah, the big Cohuna. Formerly known as Jake Treacy.
Yeah.
Treacy, sorry, Jake Treacy.
Jake Treacy.
I don't know how I
Hey, you butchered that?
butchered that.
Wow. Our listeners all know because you do it
mate,
to
it's-
everyone's name.
It's an honour to have you in, mate.
No, thanks for having me. Was that early days you butchered it? Or?
Yeah, it was early days.
Yeah.
It was early days because I've got a Link's not in today. Linc and Mack not in today because they're on their way back from Gather Round. I don't know if you saw them last night, but they're all over the broadcast. And Link's sort of our stats man, and he's shattered his missus because not only is he a stats man, but he's a Fremantle man, and he loves you. And the reason I was calling you Jake Treacy because in the first 36 games you kicked 29 goals. And then your last 25 games, you kicked 62. So I thought I'd call you by a correct name after you just absolutely flicked it, son. So congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been fantastic what he's been up to, isn't it, Brett?
Mate, he's dominating up there. He's a chance of Coleman this year. You feeling that pressure at all, mate? Are you're just going about your business. Some of the biggest mitts in the game.
Give us all those things.
Who was
Even though,
Jesus!
even though we're on a podcast, up towards the cameras for those on YouTube.
Andy Brayshaw was talking about him, I reckon, after the game. And I was like, yeah. No, I just wanted to see him. Then I shook his hand before. I was like,
Yeah.
I've got big hands, but
You know what they say about big ants?
big gloves. What happened to us? What happened to us?
That's what they say. That's what they say. Mate, we'll get into
That's
a
great.
lot of stuff. Hey, I've got a couple good stories off the top as well.
Okay.
A couple ones I've been teed up. Now, I mute your friend Matty Bain.
Yes.
Your manager.
My manager.
He'd probably be the second best manager in the game, I'd say, behind Brett.
Yeah.
And did you ever throw your hat in the ring, Brett, by any chance?
He was already signed up
Signed up.
before I'd actually got on board as a
That's
manager.
because he only likes the
Country boys.
He only likes the top picks, the pick 1 to 10s, and you're obviously a rookie.
No,
I was a rookie as
I
well.
like the country boys. And where's Cohuna? Do you know where that is? You been there?
Coona's up in northern Victoria.
Yeah, so
Close
it would have
to
been
what
right
town?
in my wheelhouse had
Close
I
to
been
Swan
a
Hill.
manager.
Yep.
Close to Mack, which we'll talk about. But long story short, to go back, Bainey was telling me that it was an interesting day when he came out and met you and the family down at Cohuna on the farm. So he drove out there, and your beautiful mum, was making some sausage rolls, like a share platter for the whole table. I think it was Bainey and a few other guys came up, or was it just Bainey?
Bainey and Nigel Carmody made the trip up to the farm.
Yeah, and Mum's come out, Mrs. Treacy, and she's got a big plate of sausage rolls for the table. Bainey thought, oh, here we go, this is beautiful. There's a share plate in the middle. Bang, straight in front of Josh. So that was his plate. And then the second plate came out. And that was a communal one. So he had his own plate of sausage rolls.
He's a big boy.
And then the other table had the share plate of sausage rolls.
Farm strength.
They're that good. They would be my last meal, Mum's homemade
Yeah.
sausage rolls.
So
yeah,
just wanted to knock him down at the, how many did you have? 14, he reckons.
probably
Yeah.
15. Yeah.
Easily done too with a little bite-sized snag roll.
Absolutely, a bit of sauce, bang.
Straight out of the oven, and they're still like.
Oh, they
Pastry just
maybe
coming
sit for a little bit.
Yeah. And Bainey said, Joshy's always been very good, and you know, quite raw at that stage. And he said to Bainey, what do I need to do, mate, to make it to the next level? He said, look, it's probably your last plate of sausage rolls.
Yeah.
But mate, he did give you credit in saying that, like, to see sort of where you've come from in a rookie pick, late pick in the draft, to, you know, honestly become one of the game's incredibly key forwards. Well done. It's been a big journey.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a quick, into my 5th year now, and it's had a lot of learnings and it's had a lot of fun, and I still feel like I'm only just scratching the surface of what I can achieve.
I love that.
And when you were eating those sausage rolls around that time, it was around COVID. So you're a COVID draftee.
Yep.
So wouldn't have got the championships or the big country stuff. Really got it. I think you maybe got some training in before the season was over. But how did you feel that impacted your your development and your opportunities. Eventually getting in as a rookie, which is a great story, but no real footy as an under 18 player.
No, especially the top age. So my bottom age year played all the way through for the Pioneers. And then, we got to draft year and literally shit just hit the fan and couldn't do anything. Just was running up and down the gravel road at home, trying to stay fit. Went to 3 or 4 different clubs in the area because some leagues were allowed to play and some weren't. And then, through Bainey, Andrew Walker was coaching at Echuca at the time, so spent a bit of time at Echuca. Spent a bit of time at Eaglehawk because we had some connections there. And then nothing kind of really eventuated and the year was kind of gone. And then Vic Country and Vic Metro had a training day late in the year. And I'd got myself in pretty good nick for what I had been.
Cut out sausage rolls.
Yeah.
The gravel road run.
Pushing hay bales around. Showed up that training day and it was like a tiny little session. You couldn't do a heap, but there was a little bit of aerial work. And I remember Jamara was in our draft and he was always going 1. And I just remember I had a few one-on-ones against Jamara and I was like, I'm going flat out here. Like, good chance to, see if I can push him around and he's going at 1 to see where it can get me to. And, it was a good day to get that in. And
how'd you go in the one-on-ones? You were saying?
I think I got a few, yeah. But mind you, he was probably going at about 15%.
Yeah. How are you picturing this training drill? Because they've just set it up and put you in the goal square, I presume, or they?
No, it was more of like 4 or 5 rotations around the ground. You got about 10 minutes at each. Just cover off all bases at each one type of thing.
Nick's going to take this to Clarko.
Straight to Clarko, that one.
The one-on-one is like, no matter where you play on the ground, but especially the big boys when you see it, and it's competitive. Like, you think pre-season, and even just to make an impact at that would have been first to draw blood type situation. We actually had a similar one. I'm not taking it away. We had a similar one with Will Taylor and Mack at Port Adelaide recently. I want to get the boys in to talk about this fully, but Mack and Linc and Will Taylor, have been doing these one-on-ones, which I can imagine was a sort of version 2 of yourself and Jamara. And Will has dead set, we've actually got to send him for scans because he has torn his lateral ligament.
Yeah. What was he doing in runners? He not come prepared.
Well, obviously not.
Put the boots on.
Piss poor performance is...
It's Josh, and you
sorry. Go through
preparation. Piss poor performance as preparation. No preparation, whatever it is.
But preparation prevents piss poor performance,
that's
mate.
it.
The
We'll
5
tell-
P's of success.
We'll tell Will Taylor that when he gets back.
Yeah.
Who else was at that session?
Everyone who was eligible to be drafted, just about, wasn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
AFL Academy invites anyone who
NGAs, all that father sons are
Any other
involved.
clubs?
I'm hearing like a 700 session.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Similar.
There's a lot.
Any other clubs that were keen to dabble in your services? Do you have any other meetings?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone kind of does. You speak to everyone, but you just never know.
Yeah.
Freo was probably the most keen. Essendon was keen. And then, draft night comes around and because I hadn't played, it was, Bainey was doing the typical manager stuff, which is let's hope, but, probably not. And then as you sit through a draft night and you see some of these names get called out and you're like, come on, what's going on here?
Yeah, name them.
And
Who are
then,
they?
no, I can't.
Are they still playing? Are they still on the list?
Some of them are, but some are. And then, clubs like, we'll take you here. And then they start passing on picks at, 50 and 60. You're like, what's going on?
You're stressing.
And, it was, to be fair, I'm not much of an emotional guy, but it was a pretty devastating night, post and on the phone to Bainey at midnight because it drags out and what's going on for tomorrow. He's like, mate, I don't know. And the rookie draft the next day actually wasn't televised or anything. It just your name would pop up on the thing. And out at the farm, the best spot for service was at the front door on the inside. And Mum was sitting at the computer watching and I was just sitting there watching my phone up on the door handle and Mum has just sort of squealed and the phone's rang. I still to this day don't know who rang me, but it was just like welcome to Freo, and then from there,
How cool is that?
How good's that?
that was the story.
That's a bit of goosebumps. Like,
is.
genuinely, because like
Share with your mum
we've all been there.
Yeah.
Like it's an amazing feeling, especially when you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe not for you,
Brett, yeah.
Brett, but for us three, it's quite good.
Yeah.
The there's, in all seriousness, a genuine question here, because there's this like study somewhat on rookies around like that gratitude of being picked up, because you think, fuck, my dream's not going to occur, and then you get your chance. So the gratitude and that determination of grit, and you come in and you just want to make impact. Like, did you feel that when you got picked up, you're like, I'm not going to let this slip, like I need to give it a crack?
Yeah, because it was all I ever wanted to do. You grow up and, it's all you dreamt about as a kid. And to get that opportunity, I was grateful to go anywhere in the country and wherever it was going to put me. And we had a few connections, obviously, with Lockie Schultz at the time over there, and he's from Moama, so we still had a bit of a home feel about going over there. We have got a lot of Victorian guys over there as well. And it's not the big city life over there. It's a country town feel to it. And yeah, getting over there, and I felt like I got in and had an impact early, and then had a few hiccups along the way. But I feel like we're getting there.
Is there a better club? And I'm obviously
Biased?
Biased, yeah, emotionally connected to it. But is there a better club at producing rookie-listed players than Freo? I could reel off,
De Boer.
put myself under pressure here, 10.
Tendai?
10. Tendai, De Boer, Aaron Sandilands, Michael Johnson.
Sandland's going, yeah.
And you'd almost even put
Josh
Lachie
Treacy.
Neal in that as well.
There was a pick 67.
Yeah,
Luke Ryan.
Luke
Luke
Ryan,
Ryan's a
rookie.
good pick. Yeah.
So in terms of late draft picks, rookie picks, and mature, like Hayden Ballantyne was a mature age pick, but I think he was a top 20 pick in the end. But they tend to find.
Yeah. Also, they were in the gun for Tom Stewart. They nearly got Tom Stewart before Geelong took him.
They didn't though.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm more saying they were. Yeah,
No,
you're right. They didn't. Yeah, no, you're right. I just forgot he does play for Geelong.
So we define players more by their premiership success,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, you've got none of that, have you?
Yeah.
So,
No, exactly. So yeah, realistically, they're all shit outs.
Yeah, so, because we, premierships, mate. No, they're actually all legends because they haven't won one because we don't rate them on that.
I've got
that's
another
luck.
good one.
Go.
I've got another good one. Again, Bane told me not to tell this one, but I think it's great. So I'm
Bane.
going to do it. Bane. So
Can we add that there's mayo on that first one?
no,
100%.
on the sausage rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Mayo
20.
on the sausage rolls.
I heard you were offended that the second plate actually got put over.
I would have polished a few.
Mate, there's always mayo.
And when he left, not when he was there.
No, we counted this, mate. Don't worry. The other one was Jai Caldwell, a mutual of mine, up at the very playing some very good footy at the moment at Essendon. But
How did you go on the weekend?
didn't watch that game actually.
He's injured.
He's
Damn.
got a
Very,
hand.
very good friend of yours, though.
Mate, you know what? You don't have to be in contact with them all the time to stay close. The best friendships are the ones that you don't speak to every day.
Are they?
Yes. Anyway, I spoke to Bainey and I was like, if you're such a good recruiter, because I need a good manager, I need to get some tips for my boy to throw his hat in the ring on some more things. How did you find out about Josh? You know, if he was a rookie and how it was going? And he said that, because he's managing Jai,
Yep.
Jai's old man actually called Bainey and said, mate, you've got to check out this bloke. Not on the radar too much at the moment, but the reason he loved watching you play is you played local footy, senior footy at like 14 years of age, and got robbed up for 6 weeks for like bashing blokes at 14. Is there some truth to that?
No, I never got rubbed out as a junior or like playing senior.
That's a great story then, isn't it?
But playing senior footy at
did you-
14.
You played
Is
senior
that
footy
back?
at 14?
Yes, we'll take a step back. The connection for the call was because his old man was actually born in Cohuna.
Ah, okay.
So that's why I feel like he's thrown my
Yeah.
hat in the ring. But yes, made my debut for Cohuna when I was 15.
15.
Um,
So that story's definitely got some mail on it. Yeah.
yeah,
Apologies.
was targeted heavily, but never did anything silly.
Yeah.
Who'd you make your debut against?
Against Kerrang, and we absolutely hate that mob.
Oh, we hate it. Yeah,
always
we
have.
hate. No, I hate Kerrang. I've always
And
said that.
Cohuna are the what?
Troy Davis from Kerrang. You reckon spent a bit of time at Melbourne.
Troy Davis.
Never heard of him.
Wow.
Luke Livingston
I know
also.
Luke Livingston, Carlton.
Yes, also from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been a very successful senior club, but juniors we absolutely dominated them.
Yeah, good.
Cohuna are the...
Take that to the bank.
What are they?
Kangas.
Cooney makes sense.
we're Freo colours.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like the old
Since-
Freo colours.
Since you made the move, or
Yep.
they always were?
Since early 2000s,
Wow.
there was two.
The green and the red.
Yeah, and the purple.
Yeah. You got the purple.
There was
Yeah, the purple
Haze,
Oh,
mate.
always.
Don't forget where
so
you
there
come
was
from.
2 teams in Cohuna, and then they merged in
Yeah.
about just before 2000, I believe.
Oh, awesome. And mate, your form at the moment itself, you've obviously in some incredible form, 6 goals on the weekend. I want to not be joking this whole session because it's genuinely, all Australian form, Coleman medals that we could have at the end of the year, which we bloody hope so. You've single-handedly ended Matt Tabernar's career as well, which we're going to shout out to him. He was meant to be next Wayne Carey, and I don't know. I think he's playing at Cohuna next year. I'm not sure where he's going. But how did you get into this form? Like, where'd the belief come from? Because I don't want to harp on this.
Yeah, is there a turning point?
Yeah,
where
you're a
can
rookie pick.
Envisage.
As the years have gone, like my first year, I played 15 games. To be fair, probably didn't deserve any of them. I was like the last bloke on the list. Like everyone played that year. To be fair, rolled into pre-season thinking, you beauty, played 15 games. How good's this?
Yeah. Give me all of them next year. No worries.
Yeah. That didn't happen. Got glandular fever, did a couple of ankles, was in the worst form ever anyway. End of that year was kind of a sit down and, figure your shit out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is going to be a quick turnaround. You'll be back on the farm.
Who was that with? Who sat you down?
So we had, it was more of I understood what was going on. But Jamie Graham had just come to the club from West Coast as our forwards coach. And I felt like he saw something in me that could turn and kind of put it on me. He said, mate, if you want to turn this into something, we really can. And had a really strong pre-season for year 3. Played round 1, had a stinker, got the flick after round 1. I'm thinking, Jesus, like, what's going on here? Went back to the Waffle for 3 or 4 weeks. Had a good month back there, and then actually played the rest of year 3 and had a pretty good year and started to get a bit of confidence and felt like everyone trusted me. And then had another really big summer, and then that built into last year and just felt like I'd been trusted even more. And because when you're in and out, it's so hard to find confidence. You're worried about selection halfway through games. You haven't touched it here. I'm meant to be kicking
So then you
goals.
do stuff you shouldn't be doing for the team, and you're taking shots you wouldn't normally take.
You're exactly right. And banked a really good summer, and then come into this year, and that confidence has just grown even more, and just feel like I'm playing in total freedom at the moment.
Yeah.
In a bloody hard position, as well. So you're into, what'd you say, 5th year?
5th year.
5th year of your career. So a lot of big blokes. It's the old big blokes when they get drafted. They're 4 years away from being 4 years away, Dylan. So he's now making his move. And a guy I want to talk to you about just at the moment, I have no kind of line of sight on this guy at all in terms of never having met him. But he's bounced on the scene in the last couple of weeks with some exuberant celebrations and some real emotive involvements at Freo. You know who I'm talking about? Dylan?
Isaiah Dudley?
No, Isaiah Dudley. We can ask about him as well. But Pat Voss.
Oh, yeah, big Vossy.
Yeah, big Vossy. He's
he's like a sort of...
He's a wogger boy.
He's like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, he's sort of a very good player, but he's a bit of a poor man's Josh Treacy. So
He's
the understudy.
He's a
Yeah,
third.
he's the underscore.
He's a third, but Brett like that one. He's a third banana in the forward line with a bit of chop out ruck.
So, mate, you're saying we've got the best key forward in the comp at the
I
moment.
wanna ask
You want to
about
talk
Pat
about
Voss.
third banana?
Yeah, third banana / chop out.
No, I just want to know, he wants to know about his celebrations. What the hell's Big
What is
Bossy
going?
doing?
What's he like?
He's a good kid. He works extremely hard. He's probably our strongest bloke in the gym. One of our fittest blokes, like extremely strong in the gym.
Yeah. Is he farm strong? Is he a farmer from the land?
He's private school boy.
Private school.
Yeah, you come down to Wesley.
Regardless if they come off a farm and go to a private school boy, they're not a filthy.
True. What's he benching then? What sort of numbers are we
I'm talking
talking?
150s. Yeah. Big unit, and can move on the
Like for how many reps?
Oh, you
Bill?
probably.
I don't know, 6x3, is it? Isn't it a 6x3? You might be a 6x3 guy.
Yeah, but clearly has brought a lot of energy to us and has given us something different. And he's probably known for his celebrations at the moment, which is, I feel like that's a good bit of energy that he's bringing to us, because we probably haven't had that previously.
Yeah.
So a bit of background on that one. He took off when they kicked the goal. He didn't even kick it last week and just ran. So then when he kicked one himself this week, took off again and just away he went. It was awesome.
What about the week before that?
I
He
didn't
got
see
you,
that.
didn't he? Did he
Yeah.
get you in the eye?
Poked me in the eye.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was his reason for running away the next week was
Well, the first week he took a mark half forward flank, kicked it in, and we kicked a crumb goal, and he was all jacked up that he'd taken a mark and kicked it in. He was involved, and he comes storming in, bang. Couldn't see out of my eye for like 10 minutes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I thought I was done.
Energy. I like that energy from you.
so he's the third banana, chop out ruck. But if any more of that baby,
He's vibes guy.
He's back at the
Vibes
waffle.
guy. Who else is some characters we might not know of over here down in the east?
In the west, Stephen? Oh, we won't know.
We're in the east.
We're in
My
the
bad.
east, yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, you're right. It happens.
Over there.
Luke Ryan and Brendan Cox. So you spend much time with those boys?
Never played with them, but familiar with their work. Yeah.
They're
Nick was more in the playing for Port. For what are they called?
The Sunnies.
I was over
No, you were playing at Peel Thunder by
Yeah,
then.
no,
yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
they follow each other everywhere, and they're quite a unique. You could call them a couple, I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah, have been for a long time. They're just
That's cute.
they.
Brett and Richo back in the day.
What?
You like that, did you, Mick? A couple. I've got actually another, just to jump in. So we had our show last Wednesday at
show.
the Space Theatre.
Yes.
Success.
Oh, it was a great success.
Any highlights?
Um,
Isaac Rankin.
Isaac Rankin.
Kick it forward, we're good.
Kick forward.
Yeah.
You were great.
Yeah.
No, there was some good stuff, yeah. But anyway, we flew in and out in the day, Brett and I. Hard outs. Virgin Lounge. Didn't even bother going to the Virgin Lounge because I was ready to get the 28 people on the plane to go back to Melbourne.
up the front.
We were toward the front, but there was just a little barricade between
Yeah, we weren't
us
business.
and the front.
Economy X.
Economy X.
That's it.
Granted, every person on the flight could have been
been.
Economy X.
Fantastic.
But there was a former teammate of Brett's on there, and it was there was two heavy
Richo,
hitters.
was it?
Wasn't Richo. Keep slinging them at me. Been over there for a function. I think got cancelled.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
He got cancelled. So he was in Adelaide for no reason, and then he thought he'd just come to Melbourne. So, but some of the stories, and if you just to be a fly on the wall, which I was for this moment, to hear Brett talk to this significant person,
So they were
within the
reminiscing.
AFL, reminiscing about the Tigers days and where they're at now. There was a lot of scratching of the head as to how it's got to here.
What's happened?
What's happened at the club, and how
Culture,
can we help?
culture chat.
It was none other than Ben Cousins. So Ben's
Cuzzy.
Yeah,
Ben's
great
going
man.
very well, looking tremendous,
Isn't he? Yeah, fit as fiddle.
and sharp as attack with what's going on with the footy.
Yeah, he's right across it. Rings a bit. He wants to know who's the good players over there in the WA, so I can give him a bit of a spiel and have a bit of a chat about him. But he was over. I think he was catching up with someone else back over here in Melbourne. But we got the push-ups wedding coming up in a couple of weeks, which will be good fun. So but we were having a good chat the whole way home. I was planning on just shutting down, but since the great man was on there on the flight, we just chatted footy.
There wouldn't be many blokes that he would take the headphones off for, and Cuzzy's one of them.
And even the fact that there was so much space on this flight, like so much space, everyone had their own row, and Cuzzy came up and sat in
Next
the
to each
row
other.
with
Oh,
Brett.
jeez.
And I don't think Brett, any other person would have been like, Brett, I'll give you 5 minutes, but you gave him the whole hour.
That is so incorrect.
Well, you didn't give him the hour.
No, you idiot. I would do that for anyone.
That's a line through his teeth. Do you have any Cuzzy stories, or that's probably 15 years before you did? Yeah.
No, I've had a little bit to do with him in the last few years, just bumping into him. I've done a bit of radio with him, but
Yeah, he's cool, dude.
extremely in good nick.
Yeah.
I've seen him at the beach a few times too.
Yeah. Some of his stories.
Which
are,
beach do you go to? Port Beach?
No, a bit further up Leighton.
Yeah.
I like City Beach.
Do you? Shit house.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not
Cott's nice. Can't go wrong.
Cott's beautiful. Mate, do you watch much footy? Like your footy head? Or do you try and...
Yes and no. If I've got a few mates playing, I'll put it on.
Yeah.
But
Did you watch the Adelaide Geelong game? Do you like Phil Thorpe at the moment?
yeah,
Filthy?
same draft year, the big fella.
Was he really?
Yeah.
So,
he was
okay.
pick three
Two.
or
Pick
two.
two.
There you go.
Yeah. Jamara's been on first.
Yeah, he's come back from a few injuries. He's got the big beard. Looks like a man mountain.
He's a man.
He's a man. I'd say our boy Joshy and Phil Thorpe are the only men at the moment.
get back
really.
in
They are. They're men. Yeah.
And he's got a bit of mongrel in him too.
What did you make of that Mac Andrew stuff after the game last week?
After the game, I don't think is good,
Yeah.
but I'm happy for everything pre the siren.
In.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just got to let it go. As soon as
Post
the siren
siren,
goes, you gotta
shake
go.
hands. That
Yeah.
gotta leave it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardest opponent you've had?
I've always tossed up between Harris Andrews and Tommy Barrass.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
just locking on, or? 'Cause I feel
Yeah.
like you'd get him on the lead and stuff,
Yeah.
or is it more just the one-on-ones?
Tommy, he can get you kind of anywhere, and then he'll separate to just there, but then he can still sit on your shoulders. He's just got this spring about him.
He has,
He's
hasn't he?
tough, yeah.
He was we're obviously recording this on a Monday. He was angry last night, very angry. He's playing on George Artisan. He was filthy with
Yeah.
it.
See, there was a bit of spite in that game.
There was a lot of spite in
There
that
was
game.
a fair bit of emotion and tension.
We're talking about the Willie Rioli.
Yes. Showing the ball.
Showing the ball, and I did
Yeah.
tell you boys off there, but I did that once in under 13s, and it was the first quarter. I think I'd kicked about 6 in the first quarter, and I was showing the ball to the guy behind me, and then just kicked it through, and my dad dragged me off the ground in the first quarter, and I had to sit on the bench for the last 3 quarters.
Was he the coach or no?
No,
He
it wasn't even the coach. No,
that's even better, I reckon.
yeah, it wasn't even the coach.
Got any stories like that, Brett, where you've played up and your parents have been...
Yeah, cricket field. I got bowled one day and I threw the bat.
Yeah.
Dad said, right, you do that ever again, you're not playing.
I got one as well. I reckon Josh has got something probably off the farm. Your parents would have been quite, do the right thing. But same story. I got at LBW in cricket, going down leg to my eye. Of
course it was.
And on the way off, kick the bat, and away we go. As I kicked the bat, Dad driving a Nissan Patrol at the time. I saw the Nissan Patrol back out and drive off.
He left.
Yeah, and I'm like, and got home and said, if you do that, if you behave like that, find your own way home. So tough homecoming.
I was never a bat thrower, but I was always slow to get off. It was just steaming. Yeah. Got a diamond duck one day and was
Yeah, I can imagine
just
being filthy with that.
really dawdled off.
Oh, yeah.
And just
Any sprays from the old man though?
not really. Because by the time I was sort of old enough to start
probably
playing,
belt
we
him.
actually played together.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so Dad was still playing when I debuted.
Wow.
Yeah, we
Fucking-
played 13 senior games together.
How
What,
good
was
was that?
what sort of player was he? Like, where was he playing?
Just an honest back pocket.
Yeah.
Just a role player. Yeah.
Is he as big as you?
Nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
right.
Playing back pocket. Brett on picture.
Well, he could be a hybrid back pocket. You never know. Mate, Luke Ryan plays back pocket, doesn't he? He's pretty big.
Oh, God.
That's amazing. Imagine playing with your old man.
That'd be amazing.
So good. Yeah, when Max, my boy, when
You go to the skate park
we go
together.
skate park and he'll have a stack and he throws his scooter, I say,
That's it, mate.
you can fucking walk home, mate. If you want to keep doing that shit, you can walk home. Hey, boys, we all tipped the Crows in this game as well, just quickly. Ben Keys
Keezer.
is an incredible player.
All Australian squadish.
Yeah, no, he's all Australian,
Ben Clean.
100%. He'll be on the half forward flank when our boy Treacy's there at full forward or centre half.
But they couldn't get the job done, regardless of
couldn't
how
believe
well
it.
he played.
I know.
Cats, how good were the Cats? With Tom Stewart out, I thought they'd be a chance to get rolled, but down back there, it's just still so clean. But Danger turned back the clock.
Danger was nice.
He was unreal.
Him out of full forward's pretty scary.
They Crows come off a 5-day break,
Yeah.
was it? A bit
Yeah.
stiff.
Yeah.
And a hard game, fought to the death.
Yeah.
on the GC.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
big,
really-
big flight back.
And not to throw you under the bus or in terms of getting too much of a controversial opinion, but I do sense like Adelaide, they are a biggest club, but again not a Victorian club. Freo are in Melbourne for a week off the back of playing in the Barossa. So Freo fly into Adelaide, then bus to Barossa.
Yep.
Yeah, stay there, play, bus back to Adelaide, fly in now and spend the whole week in Melbourne to play another away game essentially. So some fixturing teething issues, I would say, around some of these clubs that probably deserve a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm glad you
I'll
got to
make
that
that
point.
statement. I'll make that statement.
Mate, we've got a hard out. And you want to roll that shit out.
You're waffling on about the fixture. Who
Well,
cares,
I don't-
mate?
Dead set, couldn't give a fuck. Right, let's move on. Collingwood, Sydney. We're going to skip that game to run out of time.
Yeah, no, Collingwood was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game.
What do you make of the Swans?
They were okay.
What do you make of their kit?
I like the kit,
was
but they
all
should have
for it.
had. Did you like the kit?
Yep.
Loved it, but you know what they should have had? Red socks. It was a little bit too much white.
True.
Did
So-
you see their kit at the airport?
It was fresh as.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was nice.
I didn't see it. What was it?
Oh, they were in like just very like all white kits, like really sick.
Kind of like an NBA warm up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they've come out and laid an egg, eh? Less time on the kits, more time on the
More time on the fundamentals. Yeah.
Next.
Next.
Melbourne got
We're going to talk about that one, are we?
Do we want to
We've
go
got to
into
skip
this?
a couple of games here today. So do you want to move to Carlton and West Coast?
Yeah, let's go Carlton West
That was
Coast.
a
I
good
went to
one.
this game.
You're-
I'll tell you what, Sam Walsh, 37-3. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You got much sympathy for the boys across town there? West Coast not going so well?
No, because we've before my time, but the boys copped their fair share.
Yeah.
When
When they were humming.
so
True.
you know,
Yeah.
Who do you play on at West Coast? Who comes to you?
had
Would have been Barras,
Barras.
but not the normal.
Yeah.
had
No, he's at
McGovern,
Hawthorn
McGovern the other week.
Yeah, he's there.
Harry Edwards.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Tear him one. Yeah.
Got 3 away, but
Yeah.
We
That's
won.
That's
We
standard.
won.
Yeah. I liked their jumpers as well. We'll talk about jumpers. I wouldn't like it every week, but I liked the hybrid of it. Did you guys see it? The blue and yellow?
Didn't
see
spend a
it?
lot of time on this game, to be honest.
Nah, we were playing at the same time, so I didn't see it.
Okay.
I was on my way to Norwood for the next game.
I'm keen to probably skip this one as well. Melbourne Essendon.
Do you want to just go back a quick comment on the Gold Coast Suns? Like they've got to 4 and zip.
Yeah, okay.
Were they 4 and zip?
Yep.
Four and
Yeah,
zip now?
second ladder behind the lines.
And a game behind.
Because they missed the first
Yeah.
one with that cyclone.
True.
Hey, he's been getting his flowers a bit. Matt Rowell.
Yeah.
Watching him, he took over. Noah Anderson and he took over the game.
Yeah.
The Barossa on
He's
Saturday.
getting to work, isn't he?
Oh, and just some of his
Nose in
stuff,
the trough.
clean, tough, and his run, which
Yeah.
he hasn't been known for. He got out of stoppage and was.
It's been a
bloody
real
impressive.
focus point for him, from what I've heard, is that he wanted to get more on the outside rather than just being that ball pig inside. Wanted to be able to get out and spread.
I'd be targeting him if I was North.
Yeah, okay. Throw the hat in the ring, you reckon?
Take
Throw
that
your
to
hat in the
Brady.
ring.
The surface at Barossa, great, wasn't it?
immaculate.
Immaculate. So Rowley obviously got out there before the game.
Ate a bit.
Grass. Yeah, okay.
Probably a few bare patches yesterday
Yeah.
when you actually played there.
Very good. Very good, Mick.
I'm moving right along.
Moving on.
Bulldogs Brisbane.
Yeah.
I did this game at Norwood. Good little oval, Norwood. I really enjoyed being there. It's so close. I'm meeting you away, Dill, from where I call in the box to the bench, so you can hear
How'd Murph
Fags.
go?
Murph wasn't there. No, he bailed. I was with Ed Marinoff, actually. Adelaide
she's-
Crows.
she's a jerk.
Yeah, gun.
Gun.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to getting a listen to a fair bit of the ABC call last night when we get to that game.
Oh, we will,
Just
yeah.
trigger me back in. But keep going, Brett.
Dogs out to a flyer,
Yeah.
but then reeled in by the superstars of Brisbane. I thought their ability to just, again, like you said, take over the game like Rowell and Anderson before, Neil, Dunkley, the 2 Ashcroft boys, what a luxury to just get them as father sons. Zorko, and then big Eric Hipwood turned it on in the second half, kicked
Didn't he?
5.
Yeah, 1 touch at half time, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that if you're running good patterns.
Oh, sorry, another 2 that
Bringing
I
the ball to front.
Yeah, if you're bringing the ball to ground,
You get Naso,
Big Sam.
votes.
Is Sam Day up? Is he playing yet?
Sam Day.
Or is he still
played.
on baseball?
No, he's still on the diamond,
Yeah,
on the
good.
mound.
Hugh McCluggage, very good. Zach Bailey, very good as well.
Brisbane are just actually had Dane Zorkin on the podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Just
How'd that go?
Came out yesterday. Very good. Very good. Could have spoke to him for
Did
a
you
couple of
play
hours.
against him much?
I played against probably 3 or 4 times, but it wouldn't have been that many, probably 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But for what he is on the field, you'd love him on your own team.
Yeah, he's the most
Yeah,
chirpy
because I was
player
going to
I've
say that
ever played against.
Agree.
on the field.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
It's a head you want to punch. But,
Yeah, well, we
on
haven't
field-
spoke about the Harrison Petty stuff and the Tuke Miller stuff, and he admitted that he's crossed the line, but it's almost that's what gets him into his frame of mind, I suppose, to play, which is hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Can we stay on this game for a moment and just
Yeah,
want to mention
we can.
Sam Darcy?
I've heard of him.
Yeah. Weapon. Mate, it was watching him live is incredible.
We played them last week and wow.
Yeah, it was scary. Gave him a good run on the podcast last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
And from that game, without him and Libber, I think, for
Yeah.
large chunks of that game, I think Freo won that game comfortably enough anyway in the end. But Sam Darcy below his knees for someone that would have to takes a fair bit to get below his
Yeah.
knees. Unbelievable.
He's very good. Did you have a year with Lobby?
I had a couple.
Years. What do you make of Lobby and his haircuts at the moment?
Interesting.
Shoot straight.
I don't know. I feel like that's the way, I don't know, you call it influencer?
Yeah, the influencer.
The
Yeah,
path
isn't it?
he's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To his credit, right? Every time
He
he's
played
done
well
it,
this
he's
weekend.
he's always played well with.
Yeah.
Something
Or maybe
stupid on
on
his
the
head.
maybe on the weekend he didn't.
Yeah. No, he was all right.
Yeah.
He was all right. But, yeah, they got found out in the second half. Do we get a mulligan on this one? The
Yeah,
Melbourne
mulligan on that
Essendon
one.
game.
Yeah,
I fell
time.
asleep. I was supposed to go to Tommy Sheridan's little Rick's party, but
Didn't make it?
I fell asleep.
Did you?
That's
So
not
during the
big enough,
game.
mate. That's not good
Train.
enough. Big trainer. Did Trainer try and get you out to do any free?
He didn't, but a
things?
few of the boys were talking about it.
And were they
post
filthy?
game.
Were they? Because I'd heard he'd pulled a few in against their will.
Mate, Lockie Neal, I was at the hotel doing with Zorko, and he goes, I've got to, this is the night before he's playing the game. He goes, Tommy's making me come to this function. I was like, mate, you got a game tomorrow? He goes, yeah, I know. I just can't get out of it.
The boys were never going to drive from, we were out
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
Barossa to come back.
I did
in.
that for Dylan.
Not for the train.
Well, Mac picked you up. Let's get to your game, mate. Who played well for you boys? Check the best here.
Brayshaw?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Second
Are
best.
you happy with the second best in yourself, or do you think you should have got the number one best?
No, it's a midfielder's game. Isn't it?
Yeah,
It is, mate. It is.
He kicked 3 in the first 3 minutes or something, didn't you? It was
Yeah.
a couple out the backs.
It's positioning, mate.
read the
Mate,
play.
you're working him under the ball. You're working him under the ball. It's body work.
Take him out of the ground, get him out the
Oh,
ground.
the patterns. Beautiful.
Um,
Great to have Hayden Young back.
yeah, and
love
I'll
him.
add Sean Darcy as well.
Yeah.
Good to have the big man's been through the absolute ringer
Hasn't he?
the last 6 months.
Injury wise,
And,
just
yep.
body.
Yeah, he's put in a mountain of work, and I've come out and said it before, and couldn't be prouder of the big man. To be honest, pretty close to him, and
Yeah.
he's done a lot of work.
I really like Sean Darcy. I love the way he goes about it. But there's one thing that annoys me about him. I don't know if you're not aware. It's that he wears a number 4.
What's wrong with that, mate?
Yeah,
I just don't know. I'm just not sure if it's a ruckman's number.
Okay, interesting.
There you go.
Is 35 too heavy for me?
Yes,
It is.
but I sort of love the story of it though, because you're like you come through with a rookie and you've made it your own.
I
Like
reckon
you
you
can
could
own
be
that
18,
number.
yeah.
Like I don't really know who wore 35 before.
Favourite
so
amount of
it's like-
sausage rolls to eat in the city.
Yeah, I
my
think
record.
Yeah, you can make that number your own.
Yeah, well, the main reason I stuck with it is because in our locker room, no one has played 100 games or has anything
There you go.
on the locker, so I want to be the
Yeah.
first bloke.
Who was 35 before you?
Don't know, to be honest.
Yeah.
When did you start 2020?
Drafted end of 2020.
There-
Someone you lived with, no doubt.
No, there was
None of your
some
housemates.
that. Well, I live with Tim Ruffles, who wore 35.
Yeah.
Caught up for breakfast with Lee Spur this morning, wore 34. Live with him. It was Hayden Sloyth, played 35, never played a
yeah.
game, I don't reckon.
Sloyth,
So
eh?
South Freo now.
Yeah, and I reckon someone must have wedged their way in between.
Link
you and
would, Link
Hayden.
would know this, but when
Yeah,
he's not here.
yeah, not a very successful number there. At the
Well,
Dockers.
mate, that's what I like the 35
Yeah.
for you because
Bloody
it's going to
oath.
be
Make it your own.
You'll turn it around. You see many kids getting around with the 35 on at the moment?
I feel like
We could
there's-
get some more, maybe.
There's a few more getting around.
Yeah, bloody oath. Well,
What's the most prominent? Probably 3. Yeah,
Still a lot of sevens getting around.
Fifey.
Fifey cooked his hammy on the weekend.
Yeah, don't know the extent,
Yeah.
but yes.
In for scans?
Unfortunately.
I would have thought he'd be in for scans, yeah.
Well, good on you, boys. Well, Saints, just quickly while we're here.
You're clearing the throat, bud.
Oh, hey, Saints.
they
Oh, hey,
started
Saints
well.
supporters, you going all right? You stuck in there for a bit, didn't you? Good on yous. You tried hard, but ultimately,
They did try it.
yeah, trying hard's good. Trying hard's great, but ultimately, just couldn't get it done again, could they? The culture there's just no good.
Mick thought they would.
Yeah, they thought they would.
I
but
was-
the
I was-
Giants are just too strong.
Ross.
I was about. I had the message penned in the group message about halfway through the second quarter, thinking,
This is job done.
I told you the ground dimensions and the defence and the squeeze of the ground would have got it sorted, and then the floodgates opened.
And then Tobes just sort of took over. and-
Tobes took over, but also like
Did they play anyone on him or just said, no, we'll let him go free?
I actually think that they played no disrespect here. I think Ross might have left one in the bag here. To my knowledge, I think they played Ryan Burns
Yes.
on him for a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. I saw
Ross.
that early too.
Never heard of him.
Potentially don't put Ryan Burns.
Well, he
through.
thought he was getting Liam Stocker. I caught up with him for a coffee before the game, and he was like, "Yeah, I could probably get Stocker here today. I reckon."
and pretty confident.
And pretty, he was no. Well, mate, you know what I love about Tobes? He reminds me so much of Cuz. They knew exactly how good they were and what they were good at and how to get it done. And that's, mate. There's two very good humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got
So
but
Saints,
no, what I was gonna
one
say
thing I'll say to the Saints, and I know they're going to sit around 11th, 12th this year, but I will say next time you play against the Giants, young bloke down there named Toby Green that you should pay a bit more respect to.
And the defenders for the Giants, longer it went, had a field day. Just the ball just getting dumped in, and
Yeah, a couple
Lockie
of
Ash,
balls.
very good.
I'm not sure about the Saints, what they were trying to do with that, with the new their new inside 50 sort of stuff, just kicking it as high as they
You know
can.
what, do you ever know what Shea Bolton's doing with the ball? When he
Yeah.
he looks a bit unpredictable for a forward to come at the leg.
Yeah, but I don't mind it because something always happens
Yeah,
when
true.
he's got it.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite to kick to you? Like who puts it on the platter?
Choose wisely.
Is it Sarong?
I'm going to say Sarong because he really understands where I can move and get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost he'll put it there and then let me get to it.
Yeah, that's what I like.
But Youngie's a close
Yeah.
second.
Oh, yeah. He's aesthetically pleasing
Yeah.
to watch.
Nice. I
Shout
also
out to-
love that he's done the 26 as well. I love that he's in the 26. And pass that on to him.
Yeah.
So just a bit of feedback there for Andy Brayshaw to just tighten up your inside 50s.
Yeah. Yeah. Old moonballs.
Have you got an
Brayshaw.
embrace the mid for this week?
Yeah, embrace the mid this week. Might go Ryan Burns from the Saints. It's just no, I can't do that. Who's yours?
Mine, I'm going to go with Callum Archie from the Lions. I thought his game was, is it Callum or Cal?
Cal.
Cal Archie.
Yeah, his game was unbelievable. It's like 15 contested possessions, I think, had a hand in a lot of score involvements and was almost like a roaming centre forward when the big boys weren't getting it done. So, little shout out to him up there at the Lions.
Yeah. You got one, Dylan?
I'm just looking through the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to 3 games this week, so there's a lot there that.
What did you make of any of those games, mate? And seeing you were there live, you would have got the best advantage point.
Adelaide Geelong was a ripping game.
Yeah. Any embrace the mids out there, mate?
Yeah,
The 3.5s?
just looking through. You know, I'm going to go James Peatley.
Oh, yeah. What did he do?
Love my boy Pete. Well, he got reported. He got
Yeah.
a week for that tackle, but he just cracks in, gets it done.
In a losing side, you embrace the mid.
Well, mate, they were up the whole game.
Yeah. All right.
They're up the whole game, mate. If you weren't there, I thought they were.
No, I wasn't there.
unbelievable.
No, I was watching at home. But, that's fine.
Good.
Embrace the mid for me.
Yep.
Young player, second year, playing at the Giants, Harvey Thomas.
Oh,
They tend to find these guys that, for all the star power they have, guys that come in and can just play really good roles. Obviously, they've got Darcy Jones that does some good small forward
Toby
stuff.
Bedford run with.
Harvey Thomas is mine. Just a shout out to Jake Riccardi, who did a little bit of work in the second ruck.
No wing.
So not on the wing.
Well, second ruck from the wing. Bold strategy, but I think it worked
From the
off.
wing.
No, he wasn't on the wing.
Any feedback on the ABC call last night?
Yeah, so
What
the
you heard?
main thing I took from the call.
Just to go back to the Port Hawks
the
game
Port
before we
Hawks
brush
game,
over that.
I need to talk about that before we finish up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
how are you for time?
No, I'm all good. You
said-
said 3 minutes.
Okay.
And if it hits 20 past, I'll get out because I spent 3 minutes on that schedule thing.
Yeah, that was you ruined the whole episode of that.
The game started, ABC, big build up, beautiful, here we go, ball down. Who was the
If you got 3 minutes, can we go on to something else?
Who was
'Cause
play
I've
by
got
play?
something better to
Who was
talk
play by
about.
play?
Aaron Bryans and Quinton Hull.
Feedback, they had no idea. Their player ID was horrendous last night. from the
Quinton
ABC.
Hull's a Queensland-based
Yeah, shit house.
guy. And Aaron Bryans, he's Adelaide.
Get your numbers and names right. So anyway, ball gets put out. First little stop in play where the special can come in. I'm like, drum roll, here comes my man. Unfamiliar voice.
Josh
Came
Franco.
in. And as the unfamiliar voice came in, yeah, exactly. I just love the way they pressed up at the ball carrier there and got the stoppage. And as the conversation or as the sentence from Josh is happening, you hear Brett go, yeah, couldn't get it in.
So Josh is trying to alpha you.
Couldn't get in.
He's Murphed me. Like what
Yeah.
I do to Murph, he's done back to me.
Yeah, there was a lot of Josh
Can't have that,
bringing
Brett.
you in last night.
which is good.
Do you ever listen to ABC with Brett and Murph?
Can't say I haven't. I'll
No.
listen to ABC cricket.
Yeah, so do I.
Okay. Well, tune in. It's
Next
great listening.
Thursday nights.
Okay.
We've got so much going on today. We're all over the joint, but I will say this: it's been an honour having you on. Port Adelaide, though, just quickly, how good is the Horn? He was unbelievable last night. Like, I haven't seen someone attack the footy like that for a long time, and I got to say Zach Butter's probably my favourite player of all time.
Yeah.
And Rosie to half-back flank was amazing.
That was a good move, wasn't it?
It was fantastic.
That was one thing you might have picked up on the call that Josh Franco didn't like it. He was like,
I did pick
he's
that
like,
up.
nah.
Jeez, he's going well, Josh. Isn't
I
he?
reckon
Yeah,
it's a cop out.
It's a good call.
And I'm sitting there going, I don't disagree with you just yet, but it's like, I've done that a few times where it's too hard in the middle, so I'll go back to half back and see what I can get a
Worked
few.
pretty well.
Was he best on ground? Who did you give the? who
three-
did Josh give the 3 votes to last night?
He gave him to Rosie, I think.
Yeah.
2 to Butters, I reckon, maybe,
Yeah.
and 1 to Horn Francis.
Yeah. George Yard's
No,
is playing
Wonder
some good
Butters,
footy
yeah.
as well.
when those
Yeah.
two are playing well.
Exciting. Looks like he's going to take a hanger every time
Yeah,
he
he
goes
does.
near it.
Western Australian.
He's a couple of years older than me.
Yeah.
maybe.
Playing some good footy.
Yeah, that's about all she wrote. It was a really emotive game for Port Adelaide. They were wound up, and the Hawks just looked flat. I don't know whether it was off a 15-day break or whatever else, but
The way that game was played and the tension between it, right? that would suggest that the next time I play, it's going to be feisty again.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
going to be huge.
round 19.
It's a great battle for times to come.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge. Hey, before you go, we've got to call Mack and Linc. They're on the way back. So Mack and Linc are our producer. Darcy's been here, guys. We haven't even had a chance to chat to Darcy yet because we don't have enough mics. But D's a
Well done,
shit house.
Darcy.
I don't know if you've seen that. He's a D's man. Before we get going, we need to chat to them. The boys, they were in the Port Adelaide cheer squad last night.
In the thick of it.
They were right in the thick of it. They were helping out with the banner. They went down to the rooms after the game. They're on their way back from Adelaide.
I'm going to go.
You've got to go.
You can sort this
Okay,
out.
you got to go. Do you want to tell the quick?
Oh.
Do you want to tell the quick
which
story about Mack with the Tom Hawkins?
I think we can tease
Save
it for the
next week.
Thursday
Okay.
when they're back.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tom Hawkins is involved.
All right, done. See you, Mick. He's off. We'll just call these boys to finish up. How are you, boys?
We are the power. Mighty Poor Power.
Well
We're good,
done.
mate. It's on the road.
Hey, Mack and Linc, well done, boys. I must say, an incredible effort. We very much appreciate it. I don't know if you saw, Joshy, but the boys had to get to 10K followers. They got there in the end, and they had a massive week. How'd you finish up, boys? What was the highlight?
Probably Josh kicking 6 goals. That was probably my highlight, personally.
Linc?
Probably all the dap-ups I had over the weekend. The one with Nick Dacos and Mitch Georgiades were probably the highlights.
Boys, there's so much to get through, but we'll talk about more of our trip on Wednesday's episode. But have you got anything for Joshy while he's here, Mack? Have you got anything for him?
Yeah, Josh, we're both in the same Central Murray, boys. Do you remember playing up against me? I was probably sitting in like a back pocket back in the day. Do you have any memories of that, or...?
I'll be honest, no.
Yeah, it's all right.
What age group?
I would have been like probably under 14s and a half, probably Colts as well.
Would we have flogged yous?
Yeah, you would have smashed us probably. Like, probably pretty bad as well.
Mac, were you taking kick-outs?
Nah, I wasn't allowed to take the kick out. I was crumbing the ruckman.
Would Dowie have played?
Yeah, we had the Dow boys. So 1 year I was played with Thompson, and then I was a lot of times with Max.
Oh, Max, so are you the same age as my brother?
No, but he's come to my house before in Melbourne. Weird story, but yeah, really weird and long story. But he's actually came to my house before,
Right.
because he was with some mates in Melbourne.
So you're a couple of years. So it would have been hard for us to play against each other then.
Yeah, well, I think that we would have only had a few years where we would have crossed over.
Mack was playing up a few age groups. He's a pretty talented young guy.
Anyway, good chat,
Yeah,
mate.
anyway, we're going to go, mate. Hey, we'll talk about all this stuff.
Ben. Yeah, if you're ever around the Swanhill area, we'll go for a kick or something.
A few one-on-ones.
You should come to
Yeah.
Cohuna, mate.
Yeah, we'll get someone to kick them up for us. And
All right, hey, boys, we'll let you go. I know you're on your way back, but we'll catch up on Wednesday. And guys, if you're listening still to this point, we're going to do an extra episode just to get a mini episode this week with Mack and Linc to talk about everything that happened at Gather Round because it needs an episode in itself. So we'll let you go, boys, before we say goodbye to Joshy.
catch you later, Treacy. See you later.
Good on you, fellas.
Go well, enjoy the pod.
Mate, thank you so much for coming in today. Did you enjoy it? Was it a bit
good.
weird?
Nah, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, okay.
Bit of laugh. It's always
Pretty
good
laid
fun.
back.
Yeah.
We don't take ourselves too serious.
Have you got any more goals for the rest of the year? Like, how do you sort of set yourself up? You're staying in Melbourne for the week because
Yep.
you've got a game here on
Saturday. Yeah, just have another good week. Review the game for what it was yesterday, and get into the Ds. No doubt they'll be coming out firing.
Good win for you guys if you can get it, I reckon. Like, they're going to come out wanting to fire, but
Yeah.
it'll really set up your season, I reckon, if you can
Yeah,
get
definitely
that one
can.
over.
So it'll be good for us to have another good week. Something different to feel about it, obviously on the road. But yeah,
Get into salt.
for the year, it will be good to just keep ticking along week at a time, and hopefully we can take the year right into late in the year.
Bloody hell. The list that you've put together is pretty incredible, and I think there's so much footy commentary at the moment around, teams in grand finals, but ultimately it's like round 6.
Yeah.
There's so much footy to play, so you want to be winning, but you don't want to be sort of peaking at this period. I know we disagree.
You asked me that question
I know
about
we
Hawthorn, and then they've had their little
Well,
dip.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we said.
Will you say to Cozzy Pickett, see you next year, Braz? Or
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. But
Well, then you'd have to say goodbye to Luke Jackson. So,
no, you don't.
well, you think it'd be a straight swap, wouldn't you?
He's just swapped managers too, I've heard. From
you throw your hat in the ring?
From an Adelaide one to a Perth-based one.
Do you throw your hat in the ring?
No, mate, I don't know, Cozzy.
Okay.
You don't just throw your hat in the ring, mate. It's just like, here, lucky dip. Pull my hat out and here, there you go, just sign up, mate. You got to have a connection, I would have thought.
Is it it's a good big game for you boys too, because I'm assuming MCG.
Yep.
You wouldn't get to play there too much.
Not very often, no. But we've got the luxury this week. We actually get to have a training on there as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
we might get on it twice before we
good.
play this week.
What's the most you've kicked on the G?
You played the Tigs last year and kicked a few, I reckon? Last
Kicked
year?
4 against the Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that last year or
Couple
year
of
before?
threes last year.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've kicked 3.
I was there that
I've
one.
kicked 3 as well.
3.
Yeah. It's not a bad feeling.
5 tackles or something as well.
Only 3.
I think like 10 tackles. What's your most?
5 in an AFL game, yeah.
Probably 5 and 30 or something, was it?
17, I think. 5 and 17.
Just
I'm
out of
playing
the
full
square.
forward. Yeah.
Oh, boys, we're here all day. Mate, can't thank you enough. Best of luck for the rest of the year. It's an absolute honour to finally get you on the show. And I'd have to say, Joshy is our number one.
We've got to get him on.
Number one ticket holder.
Yeah.
We'll get a poster of him in the
Got to
background.
get him in the poster.
Yeah. You're a star, mate.
He's probably our most talked about.
We talk about you every week.
Every week.
Every bloody week. So it's an honour.
Jake.
Jake Treacy, yeah. Jake Treacy,
If
I
we
think,
can
was
get the
first
boys
sign.
down there calling you Jake, that'd be brilliant.
It's the best. Mate, you're a star. Thank you so much.
Thank you, fellas.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.